Hi. In the last session, we discussed about Perl variables. First, we saw about scalar variable that is used to store values, strings that should be represented using dollar variable. Then array. Array is nothing but order list of scalar variable that you should represent with at symbol at array name. Then related methods like push, pop, shift, unshift, reverse. Then finally we discussed about hashes. Now we are going to see operators in Perl. Operator can be broadly divided into four types: unary operator, binary operator, ternary operator, and list operator. Unary operator, which takes one operand. Example, this not. Binary operator deals with two operands. One example is addition, a plus b is dealing with two operands. Ternary operator, this is one example for ternary operator, conditional operator. Checking condition here before the question mark. It is true. Whatever we are mentioning here, that operand takes place. That if it is fail, the condition is fail. Whatever we are mentioning after this colon, that will happen. List operator, which takes list operands. One example is print operator. Okay, now we are going to see the operators. Plus is used to add two numbers, minus is to subtract two numbers, then star this is used for multiplication, and slash is used for division, and this dot we are using for concatenation. Then plus indicate that increment the variable value by 1. This you may use like this, plus that variable or variable name plus. The difference is here in this example, for x we are assigning value 5, then we are printing plus $x. We are printing the value after incrementing the existing value by 1. Okay, so we will get 6 as output. Here in this case, why we assign value 3, we are printing that after we are increment by 1. So here in this case you will get output as 3. Same way minus that tells decrement the value by 1. Then double star is used to represent exponential. Then this is called logical negation. This minus is used as arithmetic negation. $x equal to 5. Print minus $x that will give output as minus 5. Then this tilde symbol represent bitwise negation. Then this equal to tilde. It is called binding operator. Binds a scalar expression to a pattern match. So this will be used in regular expression to find the particular pattern is available in the string volume. This is modulo division, will give the remainder. Then x is used for repetition. For example, hi x3, 3 times it will get repeated. Then this is the left shift and right shift. Then less than, greater than, less than, equal, greater than, equal, equality, not unequal. Then this comparison operator, less than, equal, greater than. Here it will give 3 possible outputs. Here it is left hand side, here right hand side variable. When right hand side variable is greater than the left hand side variable, it will give a -1 value as output. If left hand side right hand side variable is less and left hand side variable is greater compared to right hand side variable, means it will give 1 as output. When both are same, it will give 0 as output. So these operators we can use when the operand values are numbers. If the operand we are using as a string, the operand called string, we can use these operators for less than, greater than, less than equal, greater than equal, equality and inequality. Same this instead of this compare, you can use this operand when the operands are string. Here also it will give the possible output -1, +1 and 0. If right hand side is greater means it will give -1, right hand side is less means it will give +1. Both are equal, it will give 0. Then this is logical AND operator or then XOR. Then range is also we discussed earlier. Dot used to represent range. Here value will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 5. Then conditional statements. Inside the conditional statement, we are going to see about if condition, then loops. If condition, when the evaluation of the expression is true, inside if block, inside this if condition, the if block will get executed. Else, we'll choose the else block, it will get executed. In this example, first VAR, we are assigning value 5 for the first VAR. If $first VAR not equal to 5, here we assign 5, right? So this is false. Okay. So it will goes to the else part. Whatever we are mentioning here, we mentioned print first VAR is 0. So it is displaying here. Then while loop. While loop are used to repeat a block of statement while some condition is true. There are two forms of while. One is do while, another is while loop. Do while, when you use do while, the block or statement which you mentioned inside the do while will happen once and it check for the condition. But in while loop, it will check for the condition and it will enter into the statements. Here in this example, first VAR value 10 is assigned. Do, inside that we are printing inside first VAR the corresponding value, and we are increment first VAR value by 1. Then we are checking here while of dollar first VAR less than 2. So first it will enter into this do. It will print inside first VAR equal to 10. Then it get incremented. Value become 11. Here it is checking 11 less than 2. Okay, here it is false. It is not true, right? So it is come out from this while loop. And it is printing outside first VAR equal to value. We are getting 11. Here in while loop, we are assigned first VAR as 10 while of this condition 10 less than 2. This condition is not true, right? So it will not enter into this while block. It will come out and it is printing outside first VAR equal to 10. Same way as like while we have until loop. It is just opposite to while. Until loop are used to repeat a block of statement while some condition is false. Here also there are two types: do until and until loop. Do until will print once and it will check for the condition. If it is false, continuously it will repeat the iterations. Else, if it is true, it is come out from this until. So here value is 10 for first VAR. Do it is we are printing first VAR and value is 10. Then we are incrementing by 1. Now first VAR value is 11. Here it is checking until 11 less than 2. Okay, here it is false. So again it goes to next iteration until it is false. It is continue with this loop. Okay, when it become true, it come out from this until block. So here it get incremented. So all the times it is get false. So it is becoming infinity loop. Here in this example, first VAR 10 until first VAR less than 20. So 10 less than 20, it is true. So it is come out from this until block. When it will be get into iteration when this is false. Okay. It is the use of until. If it is true, it is come out and it is printing outside first VAR equal to VAR value, that is 10. And for loop, the same as for loop in C language. For first, we need to initialize the value for the variable, the iterator variable. We declare here we mentioned first VAR as a scalar and we assign value 0. Here condition for termination dollar first VAR less than 100. So it is 0 now until it become first VAR value become 100. Will continuously iterate this loop. Then here we are performing increment or decrement. Here we are going to increment this first VAR by 1. Inside this for loop, we are printing inside first VAR equal to first VAR. Dollar first VAR, that indicates the value of this first VAR. So initial value is 0. The next iteration 1 until 99. We are getting this display. When this first VAR become 100, this exit from this for loop. For each loop, the for each statement is used solely to iterate over the element of an array. So this for each especially we are using for arrays. It is very handy for finding the largest element, printing the elements, or simply seeing if a given value is a member of the array. For this purpose, we can use this for each loop. An example here, array name at array equal to 1 to 5 and 5 to 10. So we are printing the array elements 1 to 5, then 5 to 10. So all the elements are printed here. Here we are doing using for each of that array name at array. There it will execute 11 times, right? 11 elements are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 times it will get iterated. So here a dollar underscore is a special variable. It's also called as default variable. Okay, that holds the current value of the array element. So first iteration is dollar underscore holds value 1. Next iteration 2, 3, 4, 5. Likewise it will hold. So each iteration we are checking if dollar underscore equal to 5. Okay, when this condition is satisfied, we are making that corresponding position a dollar underscore. Okay. For that, we are assigning this double star. So whenever the dollar underscore value holds 5, so at the time it is replaced with double star. After that, we are printing that array. So instead of this 5, we are getting double star here. Instead of this 2 5, we are getting these two double stars. So likewise, we can use this for each to find any numbers in array. Or you can use to find the largest element in array. Then jump keywords, last, next, redo, go to, these are called jump keywords. First we will see about last keyword. Last keyword used to exit from the block statement of blocks. Here in this example, array it contains the character from A to Z. For index value, initial value is 0. You are checking index is less than this $hash array gives the last index value of the array. Your last values from 0 starts with 0 and it is 25. Okay. So plus 1, 26. When index become 26, it will come out from this for loop. Then we are incrementing the index by 1. Here inside this for loop, we are checking the value of each element, array of index. First iteration, index value is 0, so array of 0 is nothing but A, equal to T that we are checking. Is it equal to TR? When it will become T, first time it is A, it is false. Next time B. So 19th time, you see the 19th character is T. So array of 19 equal to T. So they just get matched. It is equal, right? So it will enter into this condition, and we are mentioning last. So what it will do? It will exit from the current block, and it goes to this. It is coming out from this for loop, and it is printing the index, dollar index. At the time when it come out, the value of the dollar index is 90. Next keyword. The next keyword is to skip the rest of the statement block and start a new iteration. Here in this example, we have an array. It contains the elements from 0 to 9. Using print, we printed that 0 to 9. Inside this for loop, index is 0, then index less than the range of total. This gives the last index of this array plus 1. That will be, here it is, last index is 8 plus 1, 9. Actually here it is 9 plus 1, 10. Then we are incrementing the index. For each iteration, we are checking the index value. Inside the if condition, we are checking if the index value is 3 or 5. It will encounter this next line. Else, it will goes to this part. It's not a else. If this is not satisfied, if it is satisfied, it is enter into this line and it perform next. For other values, it will perform this line. Array of dollar index equal to star. That means For example, at the first iteration, array of 0, okay, array of 0 value is 0. Instead of this 0, we are assigning star. Okay, next iteration, array of 1, for that we are assigning star. Array of 2 and an array of 3, that is index equal to 3. So here it comes next. So what next will do? It will skip the rest of the statements inside this block. So it will skip these lines and it goes to the next iteration. So that if you see for if for the 3 and 5, for the index value 3 and 5 is not replaced with this star because we use the next keyword here. So it skip the below lines and it moves to the next iteration. Then redo keyword. The redo keyword causes Perl to restart the current statement block. In this example, first we are printing what is your name. Using stdin, we are getting the user input and we are assigning that string for this name. And using choke of $name, this choke is used to remove the last character of the given string. So if you give the name here, with the help of stdin, we are collecting the user input. There, if you enter your name, it by default it will enter with the new line. Here, with the help of the choke, we are removing that new line, and we are accepting only the name what we entered. Then, using if condition, we are checking not of length of $length. That means if we didn't give any name, this is becoming true, and it will print this one message 0 length input. Please try again and redo. So redo will restart this block. Again, it will ask for enter your name. If you enter any name, okay, so this is become false. So it will print thank you. Using that, we are concatenating the entered name. Here you see it's nothing but uppercase. So whatever the name which we enter here, that will convert it into uppercase and concatenated with this thank you and then new line. Then go to keyword. The go to statement lets your program jump directly to any label. So we'll see example for this too. Here, in example 7, is used to, here in this example, we are going to see the usage of redo. First, it is printing what is your name. Then we need to give the name that is assigned for this name. Using choke, we are removing the new line, and then we are checking the length of the name. If it is 0, it will enter into this and it will redo. Else, if we enter some string for this name, it will print the name in uppercase. Let's run this. What is your name? It's asking. If I didn't give any name, okay, so it is entering into this if condition. It's printing this message 0 length input. Please try again. Okay. And using this redo, it reset this block and again it is asking for what is your name. If I enter name, it goes to this print and thank you. Whatever we enter, that comes uppercases. Okay. Then it goes to new line. Here, the usage of this choke, I enable this print. After getting the user input, I am printing that, and I am performing show, and then again I am printing. So you can able to see the difference now. The first time, if I enter the name, and by default it is insert with a new line, so it goes to the next line. If I perform show, it removes the last character of the string. The last character here is nothing but a new line, so it removes that new line. So again, if I print this name after show, here there is no new line, so it is printing thank you Prabhakar at this line itself. So in case if I didn't perform this show, the name which we are receiving along with this new line at the end. Okay. So here it will give the name and new line. Again here we are introduce one another new line. So you will get one line space. Clearly is printed in this line. Now we accept the input as it is. So by default, thank you Prabhakar, it creates a new line. Again we are using a new line here. So it comes at this position. Okay, then another jump keyword is go to. Here go to the label. So wherever you use that label, you go to that block. So in this example, a value we are assigning 10, then do if a equal to 15, go to final. So final, the label I used here. Inside that I just print inside final one. Then here, if this condition is not satisfied, so here it will go to this print value of a, and then a value you are incrementing by 1. Why? You are checking the condition. So here a initial value is 10, so it is print, it should print the value of a as 10, and it get incremented, and 11 less than 20, it is true. Again it goes for the next iteration, and the value is 11. Likewise it will check. Okay, when value reaches a value reaches 50, it will enter into this if condition. So here we mentioned go to final. So it will go to this final label block, and it will print inside final block. Let's check here. Okay. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. When a value becomes 15, just enter into this and go to final. So it goes to final block and it displays inside final block. Okay, the remaining topic we will discuss that.